In the VGIW training center, the trainers work night and day to help everyone get ready for the squared circle. In their task, they help anyone and everyone in the VGIW channel to get ring ready, and they'll take on even the toughest of challenges. And when Greg, who had never shown up to the training center before, came running to squeeze in some last-second training to get ready for his match with Herman, the trainers knew that this would be one of their toughest challenges to date. Still, duty-bound, the trainers were determined to do the best job they possibly could. On day one, Gabriel Walker would step up to the plate. Being the youngest and the most active wrestler of the trainers, it would be a good trial by fire for Greg. Here we go, the match begins, and Gabriel Walker going to start things off with Greg here. Now, Greg, he's been this is the first time he's ever stepped foot here in the training center. Always considering himself better than that. Well, at first he was too lazy, but then he joined Storm System Worldwide. Then he was just considered himself too good to be here. But now that his career is on the line, I guess suddenly now he's realised, oh, maybe I need to do some training. Not looking good right now. But see, the thing is, training in professional wrestling can take years. Like, some people can get by with like months, but more often than not, you need to spend years. Either way, Greg's got like a week or two. Fact is, I don't know how much good this is gonna do. Obviously, trainers are gonna do what they can, but sometimes there's just sometimes things are just a losing battle, really. Like, they're gonna do what they can, but this is just a case of trying to. You're not going to make Greg a good wrestler in this, that quickly. And right now, Greg has just been demolished by Gabriel Walker. I also imagine they've taken on this challenge also because, let's be honest, everyone wants to beat up Greg. So I imagine this is also a bit therapeutic for the trainers. Only a 1 count though, so Greg's still hanging in there. That's a good sign for him in that when he has that match with Herman. But he needs to do more than just endure. Like, enduring is good, and it's very good. But if you want to win a match, you got to do more than just endure attacks. And Gabriel Walker has been absolutely dominating him so far throughout this match. Oh, look at this. Look at that! Release, belly-to-belly suplex. And now Gabriel Walker with a senton to the outside! My goodness. And there you see Greg now trying to bounce back, but you got to imagine that had to have been agonizing. Oh, oh my God. Knocked his light clean out right there. Greg got to shake the cobwebs out, but Gabriel Walker continuing to capitalize. Oh, here we go. Oh, nice big backdrop right there. Gabriel is just showing off right now. To be honest, he's had Gabriel now that he's not a full-time, now that he's not on the main roster anymore, all he can really do is spend his time training. You can see it in his physique. His physique has gotten so much better since the days of him being on TV. And all he can really do is just expand his repertoire, learn new moves, try to expand on those moves. Because, and that helps him when it comes to teaching other people, people who aren't Greg, to improve. Because it doesn't matter what you want to do. Gabriel might have a good chance of being able to help you there. We've been seeing some striking, some grappling, rest holds, high flying. The fact is, Gabriel's proven to be quite a nice all-rounder in this, which is great for a trainer. Sometimes you want specialists, and sometimes you want someone who can cover all the ground with you as much as possible. Oh, deadlifting him here with a German suplex. Greg just pathetic right now. I don't know if Greg's gotten a single move in this entire match. Oh, Gabriel now picking him back up. And driving him back down. Oh, look at that. Gabriel Walker showing that this is easy enough for him. And again, driving him back down. And now look at this. Gabriel springs to the top rope. And he's calling for Greg to get to his feet. What has Gabriel got planned? Oh, nice drop kick right there. Nice missile drop kick. Oh, the referee is saying, back up, back up. Gotta double check, make sure he's not gotten injured, because Greg has done nothing. Well, I guess the referee's given the go-ahead. I guess it's all fine, but man, oh man. I mean, I'm not surprised the referee needed a double check. Greg's not done a single thing in this. I don't think he's not injured. He's just hopelessly outgunned. A person who was never meant to be a wrestler, who has gotten by hiding behind people. Now he has to actually fight, for himself, and, we're seeing the results. Oh, here we go. Oh, Gabriel gonna go with a spider suplex. Oh, wonderfully done. And now, shooting star press. Going for the pin there. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Now, wins and losses don't matter in the training center, but being beaten that badly has got to sting for Greg and has to really show him just how out of his depth he is heading into that match, heading into the match with Herman for the Intercontinental title. Like, this is going to be, this is a major deal, because keep in mind, Greg will either walk away Intercontinental Champion or walk away without a job. And keep in mind, Greg did this all by himself. He created this problem for himself. And now that he has to actually, do something about it, he has put himself in a potentially unwinnable situation. Well, I say potentially. Based on this, I think it's probably, he is so screwed, honestly. Because that just became a showcase for Gabriel right there. Showing off what he's, been teaching himself. He has been... I don't think Gabriel ever steps out of the, training center or the gym. He is always hard at work, and I think he just used Greg as an excuse to show off right there. The next day, Greg got ready to take on Boris Monroe. Boris Monroe's hardiness and strong strikes would help Greg in being more durable. Now, I gotta say, if the match with Gabriel Walker was anything to go by, this match with Boris Monroe ain't gonna go much better. Greg now back up to his feet. Oh, but immediately clubbed. And now Boris Monroe just dealing with Greg. That was just mocking him, really. I don't even think Boris out of anyone, probably has the least probably has the least bitterness towards Greg. Because Boris Boris, much newer to the locker room, Boris doesn't have a background in wrestling, so he hasn't dealt with how Greg can be backstage. He hasn't dealt with how smug and arrogant Greg can be. But, Boris, he's absolutely not going to turn down a challenge. Oh, there we go. There's a crash course for Boris on what Greg is like. But Boris Monroe, he might not be as technical a wrestler as the likes of Dennis Finch and Gabriel Walker, but his hardiness and his brutal striking ability, he is devastating to work with. Oh, look at this now. Oh, throwing him around. Now he's calling for Greg to get back in the ring. Greg rushes back in. Oh, so far, Greg, all he's done is the usual stuff that we expect from Greg. No actual wrestling, just dirty play, biting, scratching. That'll give Greg a bit of an advantage, if he can capitalize. But the problem is I've yet to see him properly capitalize on these situations. Boris Monroe's already back up. And look at this. Oh, yanking the leg there. And now a jawbreaker from Greg as he looks to try and bounce back here. And a hit to the gut, but it only staggers Boris. And a boot from Boris shows how you really need to execute that and deliver it. Now, like I've mentioned before, Boris, a former MMA fighter, used to brutalize his opponents when he was winning. You know, obviously he didn't win every fight, but when he was winning, you know, he was tough to beat. Now, of course, his mother-in-law, Ms. Joyce Monroe, a women's wrestling legend, and his daughter, Helen Monroe, currently making her way in the women's roster. Honestly, and you can see, and Helen Monroe has taken some cues from her father in order to adapt her style to be the best she possibly can be. Oh God, look at this though. Oh my God, well Helen can't do that, that's for sure. Man, oh man. Referee say, ease up, you don't want to injure him. You don't want to injure him, which is fair enough. I don't think, again, Greg isn't injured, but the referee is saying, mind out, we don't want him injured before his big match. And Boris is like, alright, fair enough, I won't injure him. Sometimes Boris doesn't realise his own strength. With other wrestlers, it's maybe not so much of a problem. Oh God, okay, maybe he's going to try and take some liberties, but with other wrestlers it doesn't matter so much, but this is Greg we're talking about. Greg is not the hardiest wrestler. He is not the strongest, he's not the toughest. So with anyone else, they could maybe bounce back. You know, a Keller, for instance, could bounce back from a Boris Monroe attack. But Greg, let's be honest, like I've said before, Greg isn't a wrestler. You know, he's gotten fit, but he isn't a wrestler. Oh, and a spear. Okay, that's got to do it. 1, 2, oh, Greg kicking out. There you go. See, like I was saying, Greg not injured. He's still got some fortitude in him. But I think Boris is going to knock that out of him. Here we go. Look at this. And boom! All that kicking, that's just a setup for that big strike at the end. And I think Greg is unconscious. There we go. 3 count. Greg got like 2 weeks until his match with Herman. He's got to really pick up the pace if he wants to have any chance now. Greg is he got a few moves in. Well, moves is maybe a bit of an maybe that's overstating what Greg did. But the point is, Greg got a little bit of offense in, but fact is, he's still losing handily right now. Oh, God. You know, and keep in mind, in a last man standing match, you know, that Greg's got to be able to put up with this kind of thing. I know the referee is trying to be nice and say, look, hang on, Boris, don't go too nuts. But that's the kind of thing Greg has to deal with if he's going to deal with a bloody 7'4" giant pummeling him. No need to pussyfoot around. Just give Greg, you know, knock the lumps out of him, and maybe he'll actually be a wrestler by the end of the 2 weeks. A few days later, Greg entered the training center again, and this time looked to take on semi-retired Dennis Finch, hoping that the semi-retired status would help him out. Here we go. Now these two have a bit of history, both former Storm System Worldwide members. Now Dennis Finch, back when he was with Storm System Worldwide, my God, he was bulky. He was bulky. Now Dennis Finch now, in my opinion, in probably the greatest shape he has been since the TTW days. You know, he's lean, he's shredded. Much like Gabriel Walker, Dennis Finch spends his time just working, improving his condition, improving his body, and his ability in the ring. Now, Dennis Finch likely will never step foot in the ring full-time again. The great benefit to him of working in the training center is obviously he can call for days off. He doesn't have to work every week. He can work a far more relaxed schedule, so he doesn't have to worry as much about risking his neck. You know. Now, Dennis Finch, obviously his neck is in much better condition than it was before, otherwise he wouldn't be here. But the fact is, it's always good to protect yourself. It's always good to protect your neck and whatnot, and that's the thing. Dennis would have a lot harder time doing that if he was working full-time in the VGIW main roster. So this is a great way for him to continue to do what he does, what he loves. He can pass on his knowledge, and he can stay relatively safe about it. Now, Dennis Finch, like I said, former Storm System Worldwide member, so is Greg. Greg and Dennis actually both got kicked out for displeasing the leader. Now, with Dennis Finch, that was because he had to retire for all the neck problems at the time. Meanwhile, Greg, it's just because Greg has been a disappointment, an arrogant arsehole. And let's be honest, there can only be one arrogant arsehole in Storm System Worldwide at the time, and that's Aaron. Dennis Finch, you know, but the thing is, here's the difference. Look at the two of them ever since they left Storm System Worldwide. Greg, you know, all of his weaknesses are finally being exposed now that he is no one to hide behind. Meanwhile, Dennis Finch has despite the fact that he can't be a full-time performer anymore, and likely will never be a full-time performer again, has continuously continuing to be the best he possibly can be. That was a nice Boston Crab from Greg. In all fairness to him, I will give him dues when I can. But, beautifully delivered DDT from Dennis Finch right there. Oh, looks this. Oh, rib breaker from Dennis Finch. And now, look at this. Oh, springboard elbow drop. You can see some shoulder tape there. I think, if I remember correctly, he kind of, wore his shoulder out a bit because of a badly delivered springboard elbow. But I think he's getting the technique down now. The trainers, when they've got all that time there, and sometimes they will teach themselves new things, which, again, makes them even more valuable to the training centre. Oh, is it already going to be over? No way. Oh, here we go, a Finch bomb. Boom! And the Finch bomb explodes. 1, 2, 3. There we go. I've only ever known one person who endured a Finch bomb, and that was Adrian Baldwin, who endured, 4. It was the 5th one that took him out. But Greg, not happening. And again, Greg absolutely squashed by Dennis Finch. Very much, Greg's getting a few moves in, but he is not dealing well at all. And this is against someone who, like I mentioned, Gabriel Walker, if he was offered a contract, Gabriel could wrestle every day. Boris could wrestle every day. Dennis couldn't because of the neck issues. And yet he still absolutely wiped the floor with him. I say the neck issues, obviously I'm overstating the neck issues a bit there, but you get my point. Dennis can't wrestle every day anymore, but he still absolutely stomped Greg here. Come on! If this doesn't show you how out of his depth Greg is on VGIW, how much he's been on borrowed time, I don't know what will. And again, this, like I mentioned a few days ago, this is all of Greg's own doing. Getting desperate now, he turned to Mark. Mark, not being a wrestler, could give Greg an advantage, but Mark is a vicious, very skilled martial artist, which could spice things up. Now here we go. Greg now going to go after Mark. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Last week, Greg, if you didn't see it, Greg got he got mudded by them all. He got beaten by Gabriel, he got beaten by Boris, and at the end of the week he got beaten, towards the end of the week he got beaten by Dennis. Now, in the new, it's next week now, and he's, getting mudded by Mark. Now, Mark isn't so much of a wrestler per se, he's more of a martial artist, but, he's got a bit of wrestling know-how, otherwise he wouldn't be here. But the idea is, with the trainers, is they all have different backgrounds, except for Gabriel and Dennis, I guess, but, being a wrestler, we can let that slide. But for the most part, all of the trainers have different backgrounds that let them, different skill sets, different backgrounds, different things that they can bring to the table that allow them to be just extremely helpful in teaching the VGIW wrestlers. if you want to learn a specific style of wrestling, if there's a specific skill you're trying to improve on, we likely have a trainer that will help you to improve in that manner. And as you can see, like, oh god. Mark has been absolutely dominating Greg. Greg's legged it back into the ring. Oh, look at this. Like I mentioned before, Venom is great if you're a hardcore wrestler, for instance, because you can throw everything at Venom and he'll bounce back. So, you can't just swing like 50 light tubes and hope to win. You've got to know how to use it effectively. And right now, Mark looks like he's trying to end this match early, but Greg there with a kick out at 1. And in a surprise to no one, Mark is destroying Greg. Now, Mark, very good at holding his own in that ring. Like, he's got a black belt for a reason. He knows what he's doing when it comes to fighting opponents. Meanwhile, Greg, who I've said shouldn't have ever stepped foot in a squared circle. Just yanking the leg right there. And look at this again. Oh, look at that. This is, again, look, and the thing is that, again, if Greg had trained, or if Greg had any, okay, fair enough, that's the one good move Greg has, but if Greg had trained like every other wrestler does, if Greg had that ability, that experience, much like all of the great wrestlers, you think back to like the world champions, for instance, Hardcore Hank, Wade Danielson, The Reaper, Aaron Storm, Xander Horus, Platinum Pete. You think back to the world champions, not just the VGIW of GHK, The Monster, Hubert Constantine, The Nightmare, Trevor Schmidt, the Limitless champions, Ace the Tank Barkey, Katsuyori Machida, The Crusher, the TTW world champions such as David Hagen. Like, you think back to all those people, they only got to that point because they were so good, because they were the best of the best in that time. And they got that way through, not just because they were good, but because they were adamant on getting better. They wanted to be the best ever. Now, Greg having to resort to low blows, do you think that's a person who would hold a world title? No, if you haven't seen Greg, he's a person who hid behind Herman, his former best friend, and Herman did everything he could to help Greg out. Then, when he saw an opportunity, he ditched Greg, went to Aaron Storm, and hid behind Aaron Storm and Storm System Worldwide. But now that Aaron has ditched him, and that Herman wants revenge, Greg is by himself. Greg finally, after all these years, has to actually answer. He has to actually do something by himself, and you're seeing the obvious results of that. Greg is a narcissistic asshole who is finally getting what's coming to him. And the fact that Mark was even giving him time there, the fact that Mark has to stop to give Greg some time really goes to show you just how bad this situation is. I'm going to take a moment there. It's hot in the arena right now. I'm getting all hot and bothered. But I'm also just sick of Greg. If you've seen and heard the things Greg has said and done, you would know why I and so many others dislike Greg. And now we got the rolling knee bar. Looks like that could be the beginning of the end. I've seen so many people tap out of Mark's knee bar. And there you go. Once again, Greg unable to step up to the plate. How is he going to deal with a veteran of the industry breathing down his neck? It is not looking good for Greg in this, honestly. What did he expect, though? Never bothered to come to the training center. And now, he's seeing how outmatched he is. I said it before, I'll say it again. Become a great wrestler, you need to spend years training to have a chance of being one of the best.
Greg hadn't done that. And Greg is only doing this because he's panicking and he's hoping he can cram last minute like a bloody exam is on the way. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. You can't just memorize everything and hope for the best. Mark, by the way, doing great as ever. Like I mentioned, he's a trainer for a good reason. He's very talented. I'd say all the trainers are. But Mark definitely brings his own flair that I think really helps out a lot of the people who are looking to improve, who are genuinely looking to grow and improve. Very happy with the trainers we have, and of course, we're currently getting more trainers for the women's roster so that they too can have this special kind of a very expansive skill set. Next up, he would take on Venom a few days later. Venom, being a lot less skilled in the ring, might be good for Greg to take his aggression out on, given Venom's endurance. Well, here we go, match begins. Oh, a nice chop there. Oh, taken down immediately by Venom. Now, Venom, less technical in the ring. The reason why Venom typically trains the GHK wrestlers because it's not... GHK is, while they are improving their in-ring abilities, a lot of the time they're maybe not so fussed about that. If you can do a 450, that's great, that's amazing. But, at the very least, can you go toe-to-toe with someone in a big hardcore death match? And Venom might be the best one for the job when it comes to that specific type of match. You're not going to be able to do that with Dennis Finch, given his injury history. Gabriel Walker doesn't want to do it. And Mark and Boris, they're good, but that's not their skill set. Venom, meanwhile, he's durable. He took 2 sit-out tombstones and he's still walking. That's pretty... Oh my god, wait a moment. He's not about to win this already. The Lizard King punch! No way. Oh, broke break. Oh, Greg's got saved there, but that was looking pretty bad right there. Greg has a chance to start bouncing back here. Race is over, nice knee to the midsection. And it looks like Greg's finally starting to get some moves in. Oh, choking him here. But yeah, Greg, Venom might be his best shot because, Venom, he's not there to be, Venom's not there to teach you all kinds of special new moves. Venom is there to help you he's like a punching bag in a way, to put it nicely. Oh god. Obviously Venom does teach people new moves, but he's not as fundamental there as some of the other trainers. But he's great for just, this kind of situation. Though normally it'd be for bigger, more powerful wrestlers or hardcore wrestlers. Oh god. Greg has actually starting to get some moves in. Not very many spectacular moves, but, the more moves the better, because obviously that means Greg is starting to get some aggression in. Given that he's going to be fighting a particularly durable Herman, you're not going to win a last man standing match by biting someone's hand off. You're not fighting Sin Cara here. Oh, look at this. Going to the ropes. And Greg, he's mocking. Oh! And that's what you get for trying to be a smug prick about it. Oh, but look at this now. Going for a pile driver. Oh! And busts him open. Well, I think that's going to do it. That pile driver was a nasty one. 1, 2, 3. Yep, there we go. The Lizard King beats Greg. Quite handily, I must say. Honestly. Greg did get some moves in. I'll give him credit where it's due. But when Venom hit, he hit hard. Look at that. That Lizard King punch. If it wasn't for the rope break, I feel like Venom might have had that. But too close to the ropes. But that was what did it in the end. Pile driver, a classic move to finish off matches. And still effective now as it was back then. Back in the days of Memphis and whatnot. When Memphis used to exist. Okay, I'll stop being silly. But there we go. And that's why Venom is a trainer. But you can see Greg just... I don't know what he's going to do. He's lost to every single trainer. Not only did he lose, he lost badly. And it's only like... What, how many days left? There's days left until the match. I don't know when they're going to be doing it exactly. I don't know if it's like a pay-per-view or a mountaintop thing. But the point is, Greg doesn't have much of a hope now. Two days before the big event, in an act of desperation, Greg asked to take on Gorilla. Gorilla not being an official trainer, Greg likely picked him because Greg thought, with the lack of experience, he might finally get a win. Well, this is a bit unorthodox. Normally, we don't do these kinds of things. Normally, okay, wrestler matches do happen in the training center, but typically we like to have a trainer in amongst it. But the trainers today are all busy with, like, you know, other wrestlers. You know, Gabriel, he's working... Who's he working with again? He's like... I think it was like Daniel or something, Daniel Hagen. You know, like, Venom's busy with Donovan. The point is, normally, this wouldn't happen. You know, well, sometimes it happens, like I said, but normally they like to have a trainer out there. But Greg was so insistent, and... Well, I think he was doing it because he was hoping he could get a little bit of an ego boost before his big career-threatening match. But, well, look how well that's gone for him. Look at this. The Gorilla Press Slam. He has been massacred by Gorilla. 1, 2, 3. Don't let the Gorilla out of his cage, my God. Well, Greg, I hope you're ready, because in like 2 days you're going to have that career-threatening match. And, well, that doesn't look good for you. We hope you enjoyed this look into the training center. If you're wondering, the match between Greg and Herman has already taken place on an episode of VGIW, so be sure to check out past episodes of VGIW to see this amazing last man standing match. We hope you enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified of future videos on the channel. Share the video with your friends so that more people can view VGIW content, as we would really appreciate that. And we will see you next time!